So then what is the need for this sudden posturing? Abhi ekdam se, what happened that, this posturing takes place? Look, it's a known fact that there is Indian representation and agents working to destabilize Balochistan. This is a known fact, right? I mean, the military says it out openly. And there's a reason for that. It's got sort of our creation, because if we had taken care of the Balochis by providing them with socioeconomic opportunities, by providing them with industry, by providing them with the means to make a living, they may not need the money from the outside, right? Because that's sort of how the outsiders are enticing them. And so if that's happening here on this border, it gives our forces, our military, our leadership a reason to sort of have a negative stance on the neighbor, right? Why, and it's understandable why you want to create disruption in Balochistan. You kind of keep everyone kind of defocused, You've got Afghanistan as another problematic area where India is now sending its ministers and having talks with the Taliban, right? Iran's got its own set of challenges.
Sure.
Why wouldn't Pakistan try to sort of take everyone and be like, guys, let's all work together? Because we're one of the only countries whose entire surroundings are people we cannot drive in and out of freely, right? We have some sort of a weird relationship with the exception of the China border up top. Why wouldn't Pakistan take sort of that bigger stance and say, you know what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Why don't we all come to the table and let's have a chat?
Right. So SAARC was exactly that effort. Now, why SAARC faltered, why it failed?
And SAARC is the South Asian,
South Asian,
for regional cooperation.
Regional cooperation.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So, look, SAARC was this event. I was part of, I used to go to the conferences. There was genuine thing. जब भी आपको रीजनल इंटीग्रेशन, देयर आर ओवर अ डजन रीजनल इंटीग्रेशंस थी, राइट, रीजनल्स थी. ओनस इज ऑलवेज ऑन द बिगर इकोनॉमी, द बिगर पावर,
राइट,
टू लुक आउट. देखिए, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स, बॉर्डर्स जहाँ होंगे वहाँ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट डिफरेंसेस होंगे. यूएस कनाडा के भी इश्यूज आते हैं, मैक्सिको अमेरिका के भी आएंगे. जंग नहीं हो रही, लेकिन यू हैव टू मैनेज दोज.
European Union is fairly
European
easy.
Union, right? So European Union, it was France and Germany जिन्होंने champion किया था. They were the two large economies, and then they took all the smaller economies along. America, North American treaty हुई थी, वहाँ भी it was America that took Canada and Mexico along with it, right? So it's always the bigger power. SAARC में India, being the biggest power, had an obligation to take everyone along. And that means addressing the insecurities of the smaller nations. All right? ये बहुत ज़रूरी है. And in my opinion, this is not a biased opinion, it's a very objective opinion, India failed to play that role. And I can tell you from first-hand experience. And let me explain you. It's not India and Pakistan. आप India and बांग्लादेश से आप बात करें, not on politics, just trade में. You speak to Nepalis, what do they think about it, right? You speak to any of these neighboring countries on India, they don't have very complimentary words to say the way they have been dealt with a very large power, a very large economy. Nepal को उन लोग पूरा blockade कर देते हैं. It's landlocked, right? It's strong arm tactic. You need to be magnanimous. With South America में Brazil was very magnanimous to take the other economies together. So SAARC did not work out, and then violence, etc., happened, and then that is history. देखिए, statecraft is not, statecraft is a very cold, calculated thing. Every country on this planet does that. Let's be very clear, okay? And whenever there are conflicts or whenever there are state interests, whenever you're competing, हमेशा उनके बैकयार्ड में जो भी cracks होंगे, वो आपका ओपोनेंट ट्राई करता है टू एक्सप्लॉइट दैट, राइट? तो बलूचिस्तान इंडिजिनस इज़ नॉट एन इंडियन प्रॉब्लम. ये हमारी अपनी शॉर्टकमिंग्स है, हमारी हमारी फॉल्ट्स है. तो वहाँ एक इशू फेस्टर हुआ है, राइट? तो वहाँ आउटसाइड फोर्सेस आके उनको एक्सप्लॉइट करती है.